SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Are you a business owner looking for help with HR benefits and payroll? MWG Employer Services offers a wide range of services and can create a custom plan that fits your needs and budget.
I was so overwhelmed with HR stuff. MWG Employer Services took all the stress out of it and even set up my payroll. I couldn't be happier. MWG
Employer Services is here to help you succeed. Call us today at 601-206-7966 or go to MWGEmployerServices.com.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
March Madness is already madnessing today, ladies and gentlemen.
Right there. Raise your hand if you had High Point. It's right there. See my hand? My hand is in the air.
Wow, what a start to the NCAA tournament as we welcome you in to Sports Talk Mississippi.
We talked about that guy, right? The one who hadn't hit a 2 all year?
Yeah, we'll get to that here in just a second.
I remember seeing that stat. I was like, I think we talked about that.
We will talk.
And then he's got one now.
He's got one now. Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad with you. Sports Talk Mississippi on an action-packed Thursday of the NCAA tournament. Don't tell me that Cinderellas don't exist anymore. Don't tell me that the power schools are going to win all these games. That's what we heard last year. We didn't even get to showtime on Thursday before you had the infamous 5-12
upset. Baby. Every single year. If you take any piece of advice from your old pal Hadad, it's that you, on the day before the tournament, should go to Philadelphia, Mississippi, and go to Pearl River Resort, and go to the sports book at the Timeout Lounge, and you place 4 separate bets. Whatever amount of money you want to put on them, you take the money line. On all 4 12 seeds, you will. If you did that today, you have already made your money back. If you get another one, it's just gravy. 5-12, cashed it.
That is exactly right. We will go through the scoreboard because, we have 2 games that went down to the last second. One of them, the aforementioned 5-12 upset. High Point beats Wisconsin.
I'm leading our Super Talk employees bracket. I'm the only one with a perfect bracket thus far.
So I did mascot fight, and then I did a real bracket in which I entitled Derek Carr Hates Puppies. So...
it's true. That's why nobody wants him.
You ever seen Tin Cup?
Certified puppy hater. I have, yes.
He hates kids and dogs, too.
And dogs.
Yeah, that's Derek Carr. But
Will East, his nickname in this bracket group is Hadad's Neckbeard. I don't have a neck beard. Look.
Well, it's there, but you got...
No, it's not there. There is nothing. It goes down the chin here. The neck is clean. I shave it every other day.
Oh, man. It's been an awesome day so far.
Change my name to his, his comb over or something.
Hadad's been locked into the Valspar, so he missed all the basketball. He's been watching Thursday golf, but we'll give him an update. We got baseball to talk about as well. Ole Miss, Kentucky coming up tonight. We'll catch up with Brad Henderson here in about 10 minutes from right now. We'll talk baseball with Jacob Rudner as well coming up in the next hour. Pete Golding has hired a very familiar name to be an analyst on his staff and more. So busy, fun show. So glad that you guys are here. I'm not going to turn this music off.
Let it roll.
I'm going to have to because I got some other stuff that I've got to play. But
eventually. You can let it roll down to Pearl River Resort. I've already told you could have made your money back with a 5-12 bet. But it's an easy bet every time you're at Pearl River Resort. You're going to bet on having a good time. And you will. No matter what you're doing. Great meals, great live entertainment, great golf, great relaxation. Whatever you want to do. Pearl River Resort is the place to do it. C Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. Ready for your winning strategy? Here it is. Join C Spire. All the technology and support you need to succeed at home, at work, and everywhere else. Visit cspire.com. C Spire, inspired by you.
15 seconds to go. High Point down by 1 to Wisconsin. They get a stop, and then this happens.
Point's got the rebound on the outlet to Johnston. And his first two-pointer of the year gives High Point the lead.
I forgot to turn off the March Madness music, but honestly, it fits beautifully.
It's perfect. Don't worry about it.
Chase Johnston is his name. The new hero. You get a hero of March Madness every year from a school you've never heard of until this year. You had it with Golke, for example, from Oakland. Chase Johnston, going into this game, made half of his threes, 48% of his threes this year. Outstanding sharpshooter for High Point. Has not made a 2-point basket this season. He's taken 4 of them. Missed all 4. Going into that very play, High Point gets a block. He sprints out, gets an outlet pass, gentle little finger roll lay-in, and that was the difference. High Point takes down Wisconsin. Again, his first made 2 of the season.
That is an all-time statistic. That the guy, his first made 2-point basket of the season. And it's not like he was coming off the bench and way down the bench. And it's a guy who played a lot.
Yeah, and he made some shots in that second half.
Whew. And it's going to take his team into the round of 32. That's incredible. That is what this tournament is about. That is what March Madness is all about.
I was told it was dead. No, it's not dead.
It's alive and well, my friend.
Madness is alive and well.
And then there's some real madness brewing in the East Regional in Greenville, South Carolina right now. Real madness brewing.
Real madness brewing right now.
As we speak, at the free throw line, trying to extend the lead here, the number 16 seed Siena is about to open up, and this free throw is good. They have opened up a 13-point lead on the number 1 seed Duke. Just starting the second half, Duke is my national champion and is the most popular pick of everyone in the bracket contest. About 30% of all brackets have Duke as the national champion. They will probably win this game, but they are making it a lot harder than it needs to be. Siena is not intimidated by Duke at all. Largest deficit of the season for the Blue Devils, according to the CBS broadcast here, as Siena with the ball trying to extend their lead. Just having the lead at the half was a huge deal. And it should have gone in. That should have gone in. But yeah, Duke is. Look, they'll probably win. They'll go on a 18-2 run, and it'll be close. But they're playing tough. Siena is hanging tough with the Blue Devils right now.
Siena University in Siena, New York. 30. What happened? What happened?
Oh, the ceasefire text line. Bob Getty and Kelly Sander reported on the Eagle Hour that Brian O'Connor dismissed 3 players for skipping practice for going out to a bar. Any information on this? I have information on it. They got. They got by one of those fake Facebook accounts. Please tell me. Bob, here's my phone. Somebody give him my number and have him text me to verify stuff like that. You got to be kidding me that they got by a fake Facebook page. I was making fun of this last night on Thunder and Lightning Live. Somebody sent me a link of Brian O'Connor buying a luxury hotel. That he got snubbed.
Right, he could do that, I guess.
He got snubbed at the front desk, and he came in the next day with the paperwork, because you can do that in one day. You can buy a hotel in one day. You can do that. And then there was another one of, what was it? I forgot exactly what it was, of Brian O'Connor. I don't remember what it was, but I had a whole PSA. Guys, you got to listen to Thunder and Lightning. I had a whole PSA about not getting got by these stupid Facebook fake news the MSU Diamond Hub. Oh, my gosh. You got to be kidding me.
So did Brian O'Connor kick 3 players off his team for going out to a bar instead of going to practice?
It was the same one. It was the same one. Oh, my God. Mississippi State swimmer shocks the world. Mississippi State doesn't have a swim team. This is incredible stuff. It's incredible. Yeah, this is the one where they were caught This is why I said it's like they got caught partying at a downtown nightclub on Monday night. Brother, never mind that there ain't no downtown nightclub here in Starkville, Mississippi. It's certainly not open on Monday night if there was one. There's nothing open on Monday night.
What do you mean there's nothing open on Monday night? It's a college town.
Monday night is the day of rest. Nobody's open on Monday night.
There's no day of rest in a college town.
I'm just telling you. Oh, my God.
It should be Sunday, you heathens.
Well, I'm just saying. Oh, my God. I cannot believe that they got
you don't know. If you're on Facebook, because a lot of you are on Facebook.
Just get off Facebook. Quit getting your news from there unless it's from Sports Talk Mississippi.
But there are people that are just going to be on Facebook. If you're going to be on Facebook and you don't know immediately the outlet reporting something, it's not true. It's not true. If you've never heard of it, if it's not a well-recognized, established media outlet, preferably SuperTalk Mississippi. But there are other media outlets out there. If you don't recognize it, the story is not real. Just recalibrate your brain. If you don't recognize it, it's not real. I did see
if there's a link to click and it's like, goodfeelings.busy, that's probably not real.
We'll be back.
From the Venable Glass
Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
We will get back to the upset in March Madness. We had a crazy day. 2 games down to the wire. Siena currently holding a double-digit lead over Duke in the second half right now. So we will get to a lot of that coming up after we talk to our buddy Brad Henderson. He ghosted us last week. I'm kidding. Brad, we informed our audience of what was going on, but we did have some fun at your expense, claiming that, once you found out that Hadad was on the show, that you wouldn't come on anymore and things like that. So glad everything's back in order and glad you're with us on this Thursday. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I had some teammates that were listening last week, and boy, they were giving me a hard time. Said you guys were ripping me pretty good. So.
I think we said,
glad
let's make sure we get Stephen Head next time. He'll talk to us.
So, Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. We'll start with the quote-unquote news that we got last night. Ole Miss in their starting rotation leaving tomorrow, so Game 2 of the series open to TBA. TBA, a very popular player this time of year, but what do we know? What do you think Ole Miss is going to do? And what was your reaction, of course, to the injury news as well?
Yeah, obviously we were ecstatic that the MRI came back negative, and it was just simply inflammation to Cade in the shoulder. So that was certainly good news for Ole Miss fans. And, me personally, I don't have any insight to what they'll do Game 2, but I'll be shocked if he runs out there Game 2. I really will. But I'll be happy to eat those words and watch him run out there and pitch if he's fully healthy. I just think they'll give him another week of rest, and we'll see him next week against Mississippi State. So if that is the case, I would think Taylor Ray probably has a good opportunity to probably pitch in that 2 spot. And if not, obviously, I think it would certainly be Hudson Calhoun. But my guess would be Rave because we saw him obviously get the start against Southern Miss last week. He was terrific. But, yeah, I guess we'll know maybe tonight after the game. I'm sure I'll get a chance to ask Mike what their plans are. But I know they're focused on this game this evening.
So let's look at the options that they have. So Owen Kelly has a handful of starts this year. You mentioned Calhoun and Rabe. Why did you go to Rabe first, and then what are the positives of each one? What would each one bring to the table, depending on who Bianco goes with tomorrow?
Well, I think obviously seeing Taylor Rabe. So coming down to the end of spring practice, there was kind of a three-way battle between Rabe, Calhoun, and Libbert for that Sunday spot. And so you would still assume that Rabe and Calhoun are still trying to vie for maybe a starting weekend spot if some guys can't perform. But I think Hudson just gives you such an advantage, kind of having him in that Mason Marsh role that we saw last year, where he can come in after Hunter or whoever on a weekend and give you 4 innings to extend the game and possibly end the game. And I think talking with Joel Mangrum on the ride home from Austin, from a swing and miss percentage, he's the best guy on the team. And so it would be a tough move to move him out of that position, and just an easier move to move Rabe into a starting position. And again, I'm just kind of basing it on things I've put together and a little bit from here and a little bit from there. And so that's kind of how I would lay it out there.
What do we need to know about Kentucky? So far, off to a really good start. Swept their opening weekend. Got a handful of really quality, almost scary bats. They pitch it pretty well. It's a really good baseball team.
Yeah, it is. And they do what Nick Mingione always does, and try and create chaos, havoc on the bases. They steal a lot of bases. They don't hit a lot of home runs, but they've stolen 65 bases this year. Before our midweek game Tuesday, I looked, and both teams had scored 160 runs up to that point. And so they both do it differently, right? Ole Miss is going to try and hit the 3-run homer with Utermark or Becerra, and Mingione's just going to try and create the havoc and create problems for you defensively by moving guys around and playing a little bit more of the small ball. They both come in ERAs almost identical, one at 3.56, the other at 3.59, so that's kind of a wash. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a good matchup. It'll remind you a lot about that Coastal team we played earlier in the year back at Houston. They just do things a little differently. They might have to make you prepare differently. So I'm sure we worked on that all week, but you never really know how you're going to respond until you run it out there. I think the advantage for Ole Miss as far as this goes is we do get them at home. Kentucky plays in a big park. It seems like it's always cold up there. A lot of foul territory. It's turf. So at least you get them at home, and we'll see if they're able to execute their plan on our home field.
Visiting with Brad Henderson, the all-time hits leader at Ole Miss, of course, on the radio broadcast coming up here at 7 o'clock tonight, Ole Miss and Kentucky. So you mentioned they manufacture offense, small ball, put the ball in play, not many home runs. Ole Miss has struggled in the field this year, near the bottom of the SEC in fielding. Been better lately, but the left side of the infield in particular has racked up some errors, as well as Foley. Ole Miss is really going to have to change that trend if they're going to win this series, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll have to be sharp defensively. And I'll be honest, the last 10, 14 days, we've been much better. I thought we were terrific in Austin this past weekend, not only making the routine plays, but well beyond that as well. But yeah, they're going to have to shore some things up. But, I think they're trending in the right way. And so we'll see how it plays out. But, a lot of those, and Mike's talked about it, and he's probably talked about it on your show, have been a lot of throwing errors. And I'm not talking about from position players. You're talking about from catchers like Foley. You're talking about pickoffs. And obviously those will be two areas we'll have to be really good in this weekend. We haven't kicked the ball around as much as we've just thrown it poorly, which is kind of odd when you're talking about, SEC caliber players. But it's happened, and obviously they know what's coming the next 3 days, and can we execute? That's obviously what it'll boil down to.
The lineup is out. I was going to ask you about Tuesday's lineup, but thanks, Mike Bianco, for getting this out here right before we went live here. Federico still in the leadoff spot. Decker all the way down batting 7th, and Sermons in left. Have you seen the lineup? What do you think about those decisions there from Mike Bianco?
I've seen it. And obviously Fed was up at the top of the lineup to start the year and really scuffled early on. But he had a great weekend in Austin. And I think he and Dom are pretty much interchangeable in that spot. They're both going to get deep into counts. They're both going to take pitches. They're both going to, they've got a really good eye and discipline at the plate. I think what gives you a little bit of advantage to Fed is he's a switch hitter, right? And so it gives you the ability to go, left on right or right on left, depending on who they throw. And they're going to throw a left-hander today in Ben Cleaver. And so Fed will hit right-handed against him where Dom wouldn't be able to do that. So, yeah, Dom's going to hit the 7-hole. But like I said, they're interchangeable, and I think at some point you may see Dom go back into that spot. So it's kind of a double leadoff type thing with either one of those guys. And, yeah, and then Sermon's obviously the right-hander, going to get in there today against the left-handed pitcher for Kentucky. So we'll see how it plays out. I did notice that earlier. I guess I'm a little ahead of you guys. I got the lineup probably around 11 o'clock this morning, so I've been mulling over it as well. So, the biggest thing, though, Borkey and Brian, is, we got to get some production from those guys at the bottom. Sermon's hitting 226, Foley, $167, Randall, 217. At some point, you got to start getting some production from those guys if this team wants to get to where it wants to get to. So hopefully they can bust out this weekend, but it'll be against a really good staff.
We really appreciate your time. As always, have a great call tonight. Good information, as always, as well. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, man.
That's Brad Henderson, again, the all-time hits leader at Ole Miss, and also on the call for Ole Miss baseball on the radio. Again, 7 o'clock first pitch, 6:30 airtime on your SuperTalk station that airs Ole Miss. And he joined us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. He said it a couple of different elements to this series that make it so critical for Ole Miss. Not only, do you need to win your home series, right? But this is a Kentucky team whose style directly contrasts to your strengths and weaknesses. I mean, if you are going to play better defensively, if you are going to avoid getting beaten by yourself, this Kentucky team is who you have to start doing that with.
It's interesting to hear him talk about the way they manufacture runs, and Ole Miss is the opposite. They're the long ball team. So, two contrasting styles, two very different coaches with Mingione and Bianco, and the way that they run their teams. It's an interesting matchup for sure. And again, we've talked about it so many times. We may need to make T-shirts at this point. Just win your home series. And if Ole Miss does that, they'll be fine. If they don't, they're going to be behind the 8 ball.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Again, he joined us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. We'll be right back.
Back to Sports Talk Mississippi.
Doesn't get any better than this.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Got a text asking if there is an update on Ace Reese. Yes, he was one of the 3 players that got kicked off the team for going to a bar instead of practice, as I saw on Facebook. So,
as reported on the Eagle Hour.
No, he's fine, right?
Yeah, no update since the update we gave yesterday, which is he's fine and expected to play this weekend.
Good. More precautionary, fouled one off his foot. Just no reason.
Get him out.
Yeah.
So, here's an update from Greenville, South Carolina. Duke has made their run, but Siena is still hanging tough. A 6-point lead for the Saints. 58-52 is the score in this game. 9 minutes left in the ball game as Duke misses a free throw. As the Saints attempt to pull off only the second ever 16-1 upset.
Siena does not sub, by the way.
They have not subbed in this game, yeah.
Honestly, if the difference between your 5th player and your 6th player is really significant, you're not just winning the national championship.
Win this game.
Go beat Duke.
This is your national championship.
Yes,
Win this game. So, yeah, I'm not going to argue with the strategy too much. So, just now under 9 minutes to go, Siena up 5 on Duke. Looking around, Vandy struggling with McNeese. That's another 5-12.
Now, Vanderbilt established a big lead there. I don't know exactly how big it was. It was certainly double digits. Now it's down to 3.
Oh, I didn't go in. 3-point lead for Vandy. About 15 minutes to go. Arkansas just getting started. They're up 11-0 on Hawaii. Michigan State, North Dakota State is a close ball game, only a 2-point game. That game is just getting started. They're about 5 minutes in. Louisville beats South Florida. Louisville led that game, I think, as many as 26. South Florida cut it all the way to 4. Nebraska, their first ever NCAA tournament win today. They were 0-10 lifetime in the NCAA tournament until today, but they get the win over Troy.
That's
TCU,
an amazing stat, by the way.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
Imagine being a Nebraska ball fan.
It's tough.
Which is what they call it. They call it
Right.
Nebraska ball, which I love.
Right.
But imagine every year for decades, one of the older fans too, like one of the guys in the 70s or 80s that have just been there the whole time. And every year you buy your season tickets, every year you go to games, and the season ends completely fruitless. You've never had a moment where you enjoyed
had it.
and you finally get it. How good must that feel?
They get to play the winner of this Vandy McNeese game, so they're cheering for the Cowboys, no doubt about that. Only other final of the day was the first game of the day. TCU with a win over Ohio State. Horned Frogs dominated the first half. Ohio State put up a big comeback, but in the end, the Horned Frogs will advance. They play the winner of this Duke-Siena game.
And here is how that ended. So 16 seconds left in the game. TCU, Ohio State tied at 64, and it sounded like this.
To see if they trap it. It's Harding. Screen. Edmonds works around it. Harding on a kick. Punch. He gets it inside. Edmonds for the lead. He's got it. The layup goes with 4.1. Wow.
Ohio State obviously did not score after that, and TCU held off the Buckeyes. A furious comeback, as Hadad said, in the second half. They were getting smoked, was Ohio State. Tied it up and then could not get the job done.
A little breaking news here from the football variety. I think you and I will be pleased with this. They have tweaked the targeting rule for D1 football. Now, a player ejected in the second half does not face a suspension the next week.
Good.
If you're ejected in the second half, you're just ejected. You don't. If it's your first targeting foul of the season, it says. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's a small step in the right direction.
Yeah. It's something that they had out there as a proposal and officially voted it through. So if they're doing that, that means some other rule changes might pop up today as well.
No question about it.
Which in typical NCAA fashion, you're doing it the day of your basketball tournament.
Yeah, like.
Why didn't you do it yesterday?
They did it yesterday, so. Oh, well.
We really need there to be some kind of like common sense sports PR agency, you know?
Yeah.
Just something that just here.
Just raise your hand. It's like, hey, what are we doing here?
Let's do it Wednesday, guys. Let's have the vote Wednesday instead of Thursday. Why? Because you'll get to create an NCAA did something right news cycle on its own. But instead, nobody's going to care because Duke is down 1 in the second half. Unfortunately, it's only 1 now.
So, did you see this guy with the burrito?
No.
This guy tweeted out, like, he said something like, who said there's no such thing as a free lunch? He bet $2,500 on the Duke money line to win $5. And he bought himself a burrito. And he is probably sweating right this second that he may have the most expensive burrito in the history of man. Because if Duke loses, he's out $2,500.
I've never wanted a guy to lose money more.
I'm in on that. Yeah,
trying to game the system like that.
I mean, $2,500 to win $5 is just absolute psychopath behavior.
Somebody says, "How do y'all feel about South Carolina baseball questioning their coach?" I'm not familiar with the story. Hey, Dad, is it the players that have somehow?
I haven't seen anything like this.
I'll need to look this up. I hope this is not also a Facebook thing, but
yeah, we got to be more careful. We need some. Where are you getting that from? I want to see the link.
There is a fine line that needs to be walked when it comes to players and coaching. Because if no player ever stood up against coaching, the things that coaches used to get away with, and they still do to some degree, would continue. And again, only listen to your coach no matter what, do whatever he says no matter what. Mm-hmm. In theory, that sounds great. Like, yeah, you want to be coachable, but there are times where coaches do things that they should not and are take it too far or inappropriate or whatever. South Carolina, they're just bad, and they're poorly coached, and the methodology is bad. At this point...
And you got a coach who's kind of not... How do I put this? Like, he's not completely in tune with the way college baseball is played today in terms of roster management. We'll say that.
And after we talked about rest, that they didn't have practice because the players needed to recover from a midweek game. It's like, recover? They're college baseball players. Recover from a game? Who needs to recover from a baseball game? Nobody. So I don't know. I send us a link or something because I have not seen that myself. But frankly, he needs to be questioned. They're horrible.
Yeah, a quick Google. I'm just South Carolina players upset baseball coach. Doesn't give me anything.
Very well could be.
Yeah, I think you may be getting got. Be careful.
Wow. Jeff Borzello, eye-opening stat. Duke is the first ever 1 seed to trail a 16 by double digits at halftime in the history of the tournament.
Well, that's believable. There's only been one upset.
Yeah.
I'm sure there have been a few that maybe it was close at the half, but trailing by double digits, yeah. That's one of those stats that's like, wow. But then you think about it for a second, you're like, yeah, the 16th seed should not have a double-digit lead on the 1 seed at any point, let alone at the half.
They're mad at the coach for suspending 2 players and sending them to prison at the new hotel he bought.
The new luxury hotel, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, Brian O'Connor's just investing in the community, okay?
I love the idea that you can in 24 hours, like, walk in and buy a hotel.
Is that not how it works?
I
have you ever bought a hotel? You don't know how it works.
Only in Monopoly. But I also, I'm sure O'Connor's made a good living as a college baseball coach, but luxury hotels ain't cheap. I don't think that he's accumulated that kind of fun. I'll ask him about it. Tomorrow we'll talk to him after the game. I'll ask him how the hotel management business is going.
Yeah, if State wins tomorrow.
I really should. If State wins, I should be like, Coach, which of these 3 fake headlines from Facebook do you find more humorous? That Ace Reese gave an $8 million. Did you see this one? He gave $8 million. He got an $8 million NIL deal.
Oh, wow. Good
and
for
donated
him.
It all to charity.
What a great kid.
The best. Didn't see Hunter Elliott doing anything like that.
Hunter Elliott didn't donate his
Huh?
$8 million NIL deal to charity, so clearly he's a bum.
This the one with the swimmer from earlier is killing me.
That's hilarious.
Apparently we got a Lamonis one here. Hold on.
Oh, really? What did he do?
Like the whole thing is like he has an announcement, blah blah. They got a picture of him. He's bald. I guess they're going to say he has a disease or something. Oh my God! Also, there were they made a huge. If there is no announcement Chris Lamonis could make that would send shockwaves through the world. Chris Lamonis isn't famous enough to make an announcement that sends shockwaves through the world.
Are you seeing it now?
Is there another
Chris
one?
Lamonis breaks his silence on live television, calls Donald Trump a vicious old word I can't say, draining America's soul.
How is this website a thing? Hail State Diamond. God, your grandparents are a problem, y'all. We got to do something. 3,000 followers.
Oh no, there's the poor.
It's run by Kathleen Turner of Roxbury. Hold on, the Mississippi State baseball community is engulfed in grief following the shocking loss of a 32-year-old Pittsburgh firefighter and EMT, a loyal, devoted supporter.
I'm more interested in Chris Lamotis going on Fox News to talk about
the first three comments.
president.
Prayers for the friends and family. Prayers and then
we'll be
praying
right
family. Odd.
From the Venom.
If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You like this show, huh?
Yeah. Super Talk Mississippi.
All right, Michael Borkey, it's time for you to admit the truth. You ready?
Okay.
How long did you spend on the Masters website searching for those shots today? How long?
Not as long as you would think.
I thought you might be late to the show.
I'm going to let other people filter those and just watch what other people figure out. Because you have to be very detailed.
Mm-hmm.
Like player, specific year, specific hole, specific round, specific shot. And it's like, I don't have time for all that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But the Masters website archiving literally every shot that has ever aired on their broadcast, and you can search for it and pick whichever one you want, is amazing technology. That's insane.
And by the way, only the Masters, right? Like the SEC, multi-billion-dollar industry. But on the SEC network, they'll show me spring games during the summer instead of just showing the classic games that everybody wants. Like, how come the SEC? How come I can't just say, "Hey, I want to watch"? I just tell hey, Chat GPT, I want to see the Mississippi State Ole Miss. I want to see the interception. Got kicked up in the air in the 1999 Egg Bowl, and it shows it to me.
Yeah, I mean,
how is that not possible?
You own all of that. You own it.
Give it to me.
So give it to me.
Only the Masters could pull that off.
Only. And then, of course, it's immediate. It does not buffer at all. It's perfect. It's perfect. Now, and they basically have unlimited money, but so does ESPN when it comes to airing the live sports. I know they're broke and going bankrupt in every other category, but the live sports category is making money.
Yeah.
You don't have just an archive of, hey, I want to watch this broadcast from the 2004 season?
They have those. They could easily do it. There's no way you can convince me they couldn't do it.
You've got YouTube channels that do it, that you tell, you make them remove the content.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Sienna's running out of gas here. They're not down 4, just turn it over again. And
down 4, 2.5 to go. Boozer drives, kicks. Just good ball movement by Duke. That's a good basketball team.
They've gone 5 minutes, Sienna, without scoring.
That is Sienna ball there. So this is where if I'm the coach, do you have a ringer on the bench? It's like, now you go in. 2 minutes to go. Fresh legs.
At that point, I mean, what do you even say to them? Just everything you have. Tomorrow doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'd have no doubt they're trying their hardest, but yeah, they're just out of gas. They've missed 7 of their last 8 shots. Duke still has 3 fouls to give too, so they could,
Of course they do. Of course, Duke still has fouls to give.
Oh, here we go. Oh, is that a clean block? No. He stole it.
How are you so far ahead of me?
Starville Internet is fantastic here at the studio, I guess.
You are way ahead of me.
Oh, it's no good. Come on. They had 3 chances there and didn't get any of them.
I'm about to see it now. You are a good 30 seconds ahead of me.
It happens like that.
Got blocked right at the rim. Lay that one up. You got to go up and then lay that one up.
Lay it in, yeah. So just under 2 minutes to go. Duke up 4. So Duke's certainly not going to cover here, but
man, gosh, that was a wide open look too.
They had some good looks. I'm telling you, they had some good looks there. They had a chance.
Gosh, what a shame. Yeah, you got to lay that one up.
That's going. All right, that's that. All right, it was a fun story.
Darn it. Oh, well. Good on him, though. Shout out Sienna.
If you're a Duke fan, you should be embarrassed, though. You should be looking around going, where's this? They had been playing a 15 seed. They might have been in trouble today. I don't know.
Vanderbilt only up 4 with 8 to go, though, over McNeese.
Yeah, let's switch TVs here. Let's got YouTube TV going here. Yep, up 5 now with 8 to go.
MLB Network used to have, somebody says, archives of all broadcasts on audio. Now it's a private service, and you have to subscribe. That's the other thing about the Masters. You don't just...
Yeah, it's free.
It's free.
You got to say one thing. For the Masters being the ultimate rich guy thing, they treat the common man pretty well. If you get tickets to go,
which is in a lottery system, by the way,
is a lottery system. The concessions are cheap. Their website is far superior to the PGA's own website.
Mm-hmm. You can watch every single shot on the course on their website.
Yeah,
even when it's not in the broadcast window.
They know how to treat their fans. It really. Oh, I'm sorry. They know how to treat their patrons.
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing here. So it's crazy that
the wealthiest, most exclusive club on earth is better to the fans than the Southeastern Conference.
Which, by the way, we're paying for all of the players that are on the field.
Yep.
So
none of you are paying for a single dollar of whatever Scotty Scheffler is going to make in April.
No.
You're paying for Camario Taylor's touchdown passes and Trinidad Chambliss' touchdown passes.
I don't get it.
Hey, that make that make sense. That's what people say now. Make that make sense.
3-pointer for McNeese. They've cut it to 3.
How are you ahead of this? Stinks, man. You're going to spoil everything, especially if this comes down.
Are you doing the thing with the sound?
No, that's a big shot, though.
Are you doing? Is your sound on, but not? So
I've got it up on my phone right now. The computer in here is not letting me stream the game.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Vanderbilt only up 3 after the news. We'll keep talking about the NCAA tournament. Things going on all across the country right now. Read some of your text and just have some fun. We'll also talk to Jacob Rudner coming up at 4:20. Just a baseball weekend preview with him. Looking forward to that as well. We'll be back after the news.
You're listening.
What we're going to do right here is go back.
And now back to the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
So let's get rolling
on Super Talk Mississippi.
Hey, Borkey.
What's up?
You going to mow the grass this weekend?
Probably not this weekend because the cold snap stunted it a little bit.
Oh, we're stunting growth. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, and it kind of messed up my azaleas. They were already blooming, and now they're a little singed, I guess.
Well, when you decide to get back out there.
Next weekend,
weekend. And then maybe you need to talk to our friends over at Ag Up.
It gives me time to go talk to our friends at Ag Up.
It doesn't matter how big your yard is, all right? If you own, a couple acres or a couple thousand acres, Ag Up Equipment has the mower, the tractor, whatever it is you're looking for, the attachments that you need to make your yard look its absolute best. And right now, you can get a brand new John Deere tractor, 3025E Series with a loader starting at only $265 per month during their 3 Series tractor blowout. With additional 3 Series model available, but they are not going to last for long, and neither are these prices. Swing by one of Ag Up's 15 locations or check them out online at agup.com for all the details. Ag Up brings you What's Up on Sports Talk Mississippi. Jacob Rudner from Baseball America will join us very shortly. And what do we got in the college football fix for today? We got a new Ole Miss assistant coach.
A very familiar name.
Yes.
But I think there's a trend happening with Pete Golding's staff building that is noteworthy. So we'll talk about that as well.
We will talk about that when as we go along here on Sports Talk Mississippi.
Somebody says azaleas are poisonous to animals. What animals eat them, though? I mean, aren't they all smart enough to kind of know not to? Because they're everywhere. I hope they are. My dog doesn't eat them. And I see lizards on them all the time. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I've got 9 so far just around my back porch. I'm going to keep adding them, though.
Yeah.
I have a new goal. Speaking of the Masters, I will have so each hole is named after a plant. Like hole number 1's tea olive. I don't know where to get a tea olive, but I'm going to have, whether it be at this house or the next one, if there ever is a next one, all 18 plants on my property that holes at Augusta National are named after. Okay. I've got like 7 right now inadvertently, so off to a good start.
Yeah.
He says they'll kill a goat. Well, I don't have any goats. We're good. You, my friend, sounds like you have goats.
I have no goats.
I have no goats either. I've eaten goat, by the way.
I have too. Cabrito. It's delicious.
It's actually good.
It's quite good.
When I was in Jamaica, really made friends with the bartender there.
Yeah, as you should.
Chamoy, I believe was his name.
Shout out to Chamoy.
He said they have a tradition where every year, and he's like, it's not just my family, it's our families. Because I asked him, because all these little houses on the countryside of Jamaica had goats, like tied up like dogs almost. Little goat house and stuff like that. And I was like, what's up with that? Tell me a little bit more. He said, for Christmas, we eat the goat. So they get a goat to start the year, raise the goat, and then they kill the goat and eat it. And so him as a kid every year, this is what he told me. He could have been trolling me. But he and his sisters and brothers would take care of, feed, play with, make friends with, name the family goat. And then come Christmas time,
ate the goat.
It would be done with the goat.
Yeah.
And he was a really nice guy. If that were my childhood, I would not be a really nice guy. I think the trauma would have held on to me a little bit more.
Like on December 23rd, they're talking to Bob the goat. You're like, oh Bob, we've had a good run, buddy, but it's about that time.
See what I mean?
It's about that time, man.
Could
That's
not
funny.
do it. Somebody says someone on my road to work has 10 llamas up in Gluckstadt.
Well, there you go.
Llamas are as good as like the livestock guardian dogs. They're protectors.
Are they? Okay.
They'll get after a coyote.
Well, that's a big animal too. A coyote probably didn't want any piece of that. So, let's look around real quick. What's going on in the NCAA tournament? Vanderbilt leading McNeese State by 8 with about 3 minutes to go. Michigan State all over North Dakota State. First half coming to an end there. 41-22 is the score there. Arkansas only up 10 on Hawaii as we speak.
And they got out to a 14-0 lead or something like that.
They were off to a really quick start there. And but the Rainbow Warriors have fought their way back into it. And I'm trying to catch up here. When they went to commercial on the TV. Other than that, nothing else going on right this second. So Michigan State, Arkansas, and Vandy are only live games right this second. Duke ends up beating Siena 71-65. Just ran out of gas. Just didn't have enough. That's a heck of an effort. They got nothing to be proud of. I'm sorry, they got plenty to be proud of, I should say. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Florida State has something to be ashamed of. Their kicker. Yes, the kicker. Connor McEnany.
Celebrating St. Patrick's.
Yeah, he was arrested and charged with a felony on Wednesday in South Florida. He recently signed with Florida State, and he's accused of battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest with violence. The kicker at Florida State was fighting with cops, got arrested for it.
Florida State has never been more back. All right, that's how we know that the Seminoles are back, when they become the criminals again. That's what we want to hear.
The 6'3" sophomore is from Plumbridge, Ireland.
He just had a little too much Aaron Go Bra going on St. Patrick's Day.
His mugshot is hilarious because during the scuffle, his bottom lip got busted up pretty good.
He looks like white trash Timothy Chalamet.
That's really what he looks like.
That's what he looks like. Like if Timothy Chalamet had been born in Harlan, Kentucky, that's what he would look like. But he's Irish.
He's Irish.
Ireland is kind of the south of Europe.
I do feel like
bunch of hard drinkers there.
When he and Mike Norvell have the punishment meeting,
yeah,
I feel like Connor here is going to be like, Coach, you know what you signed up for.
When you came to my house, I told you that I'm a ruffian. I'm a hooligan. Did you miss that when I said it to you?
I need the body cam of the Florida State kicker trying to fight police officers with his Irish accent.
Come on over here and I'll give you the good what for, laddie. Somebody hold my Guinness. I'm going to punt him.
Oh, man.
Something like that, yeah.
So
I got the image of the Replacements in my head. I'm wiry.
What a great movie.
Yeah.
It's not.
What does that mean? My one offensive weapon is wiry.
Not the greatest football movie of all time. I feel like when people have those off-season conversations about sports movies, The Replacements does not get brought up enough, though.
No.
Like, what's wrong with The Replacements?
Because it's a lot of movies are like this, where they try to be the NFL, but they don't have the right.
Right, they don't have the
right.
rights
Washington
to the logo,
Sentinels and Sentinels and all that. Like, if they were the Washington in that time, it would have been the Redskins. That movie does a lot better. So that's why Any Given Sunday works. Is they created a whole new league. Like, they weren't in the NFL.
Well, The Replacements created all new teams too.
Yeah, but they tried to pretend they were the NFL though. Like, I don't think they ever say NFL, but they got Madden and Summerall doing the games. I mean, it's just kind of obvious what's going on there.
And Shane Falco really blew that Sugar Bowl.
He did.
I lost all kinds
Footsteps,
of money on that
Falco?
game.
Yeah. That's one of those things, too. That's where you got to have somebody who actually watches sports on your production team. Because I would have been like, guys, I'm sure he had a terrible game in our little story here, but nobody goes from being like a first-round pick to not getting drafted because of one game.
Well, didn't he get hurt, though? Wasn't that the thing,
No, they just say he was so bad that everybody just went off of him.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That's not something that would ever happen. You've
got to blow his knee out is what you got to do.
Yeah,
I know it's morbid, but that's what you got to do.
Exactly. Bees.
Well, he meant on the field. Like
bees on
the field?
Yeah. The movie is horrible. Even the dialogue is cringeworthy. You're cringeworthy. How about that?
The movie is horrible. On what planet?
It's a fun movie. It's very fun.
If you don't watch The Replacements and just enjoy your hour and a half, that's a you problem.
Yeah,
that's not a movie problem.
Movie.
It's a fun miles and miles of heart. Coach Jimmy McGinty.
I don't know if you know this, but before every game, because State always takes the ball, right? Mm-hmm. Like they always want the ball. So I always say Mississippi State will get the ball, and then underneath I put winners want the ball, Coach Jimmy McGinty. If you look on my Twitter history, you will find every game where State wins the toss and takes the ball or gets the ball first, I say winners want the ball. Because I believe that. Believe me, if you win the toss, you should take the ball. Go score. Make it 7-0. Go from there.
See, we're getting a bunch of quotes from the movie in the text line. I feel validated right now. Great movie.
Bloody Welsh. I forgot he was Welsh. Dang Welshman.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Jacob Rudner will join us when we come back.
In the Venable Glass.
Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
Communication system is a go.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Exactly.
Welcome back in Sports Talk Mississippi. We go again to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Jacob Rudner joins us once again. Always courteous with his time. And we'll start in Oxford. The series gets started tonight, Jacob, in Ole Miss and Kentucky. A fascinating one for both teams. What does an Ole Miss fan out there listening need to know about this Kentucky team from your vantage point?
You know, I think that there is a lot said about the way that Kentucky plays baseball. It's been a conversation for the last couple of years, especially ever since Kentucky made it to the College World Series. And that's this brand of old school baseball, right? They play great defense. They're going to bunt the baseball. They're going to run the bases really well. They're going to throw a lot of strikes, even in the absence of great stuff, right? Now, though, they're still doing those things, and it's still very Kentucky baseball. But I think that this year they added a layer of modernization, we'll call it. They do have hitters who are going to put the ball over the fence if you make a mistake to them. They do have a couple pitchers who have well above average, if not plus stuff in some categories. Jackson Jelkin, in particular, their Friday guy, has looked really good. Great fastball. He's got a real slider. He's all over the zone. And he's somebody who's kind of a different look for a Kentucky arm than we've seen in the last couple of years. So this is a team that's capable of having success the way the Wildcats have had success in the past. I also think that they're able of kind of going toe-to-toe with teams that bring better stuff and a little bit more power to the table.
Over here in Starkville, Jacob, Mississippi State hosting a Vanderbilt team. These are two really good hitting teams and two teams that if you ask me, hey, where are their questions at, I'd say in the bullpen for both of them. Should we be expecting some big offense this weekend at Dudy Noble Field?
Yeah, I think that that's probably a fair expectation just based on the way that the season has gone for Vanderbilt. Vandy, I think this year was in a weird transition as far as its arms went and whether or not it was going to be able to be super competitive with keeping guys off the bases and allowing home run type production. And we've seen them kind of have a hard time with that as expected so far this season. That obviously sets up well for there to be a ton of offense. Do I think that there is a chance, though, that some of these pitchers really kind of snap into shape? Possibly, and that's, depending on whether or not they're going to be able to throw strikes and get to their secondaries. And then for Mississippi State, I'm impressed with the rotation. I mean, it's a group of sophomores who I think all have first-round type potential in next year's draft. The bullpen arms do bring a level of stuff to the table that I don't think you find at most Division I schools, even in the SEC. And so is it going to be two-sided offense in this series? Not so sure about that, but I do think that really great opportunity here for the Bulldogs to kind of show off what they can do at the plate.
And then in Hattiesburg, two things on Southern Miss. One, what was your takeaway? A little surprise. I know Arkansas State's quite good, especially this year. But Southern Miss losing that series, and then what do you expect to see out of this series upcoming against Troy?
Well, surprised for sure, because I think, and I wrote about this week, if you're a top 10 team nationally in the Sun Belt, the expectations for what you do within your conference are very different than if you're a top 10 team in the SEC. If you're a top 10 team in the SEC and you go on the road and you face a team that's in the top 15 and you lose 2 of 3, we're not going to shake our heads too hard at that kind of a result because the teams are really even. There's a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, and there isn't a perceived, grand disparity between Team A and Team B. In the Sun Belt, if you're going to be a top 10 team, we do kind of expect you to go on the road and at least win a series, if not sweep it. Now, in this case, I think it's a little bit different because, like you just said, Arkansas State is quite good this year. They do have some talent. Lane Walton, their second baseman in particular, has really impressed me so far. But, you still expect Southern Miss to win that series. Arkansas State's now ranked for us, so, it is an acknowledgement of the fact that's not a bad series loss. It is still a surprising one.
How many more losses? And their series starts tonight as well. Oklahoma heading to LSU. How many more losses for the Tigers before we have to start saying with some real seriousness that they're in trouble of, never mind hosting, being a problem getting into the NCAA tournament?
We're a ways off from that. I mean, in the SEC right now, with the way that the committee is operating, if you're going to get to 13 wins, over the last 2 years, that profile hasn't been left out, even if you're a game above 500 like Florida was in 2024 when it eventually made it to the College World Series. That team was a game above 500 overall after the SEC tournament, and it was 13-17 in league play. It had no issue. I don't even believe it was one of the last 4 teams in, if I remember correctly, that season. So do I think that LSU can still get to that mark? 100%. Do I think that it's time to be a little bit concerned about what this LSU team is going to be? Yeah, I think that's fair. We have not quite seen the level of depth offensively that I think we've come to expect over the last couple of years with LSU teams. The power hitting has shown up in sports for a lot of players who we thought that we would see it more consistently from. And then on the mound, the stuff that they have, which is tremendous, has just not translated to great results. Kason Evans has not been the pitcher that we expected him to be in their Friday night role. Cooper Moore has kind of cooled off in the last couple of weeks. And so, I think that LSU will ultimately be fine. I don't foresee this being a tournament miss. Is it possible? Of course, because if you start to slip in the SEC, there isn't a lot of ground given to you to kind of make it up. But at the end of the day, this is still one of the more talented teams in the country, coached by one of, if not the best coach in the country. And ultimately, they do still have the pedigree that they have. I think they'll be okay.
Number 2, Texas at number 4, Auburn in the Baseball America poll. Is this the series of the weekend?
For me, it is. I'm really excited about this because I think that we're going to learn about both these teams here. Auburn, to me, is really intriguing because its core is around a bunch of sophomores. And we know the sophomore year is the biggest year of growth. And that doesn't happen in the preseason as much as it happens kind of over the course of the year, where a sophomore will look like one thing at the beginning of the year, and then by the end of the year, you see this more kind of fully formed, much more mature player. And a lot of their roster has that growth potential this year. And I'm really excited to kind of see it in a top series. Are these guys going to rise to the occasion in a top 5 matchup that they've never experienced before and make it happen? And if they do, I think the sky's the limit for this Auburn team, but we do need to see it, and this is a great chance for that. And then with Texas, I'm a big believer. I think that this is a great roster all around. The pitching is super consistent. They have a lot of great stuff. Ruger Riojas, to me, is kind of the senior or maybe even just senior overall story of the year. He bet on himself to go back to school. Now he's looking like a top, let's say, 100 pick, and that might be a little bit cautious. And then the lineup is impressive. They've done a lot to improve their power hitting. They've done a lot to be, a cleaner on-base team. They're not striking out and swinging and missing as much as they were even last year when they were very good offensively. And it's just a complete group. So for both of these teams, a real test against good competition, and it will propel one of them into a very serious conversation, in my opinion.
Another ranked SEC series is Georgia heading to College Station to take on Texas A&M. I feel like we're either waiting on Texas A&M to take off and really be an elite team, or is what happened last year going to happen again? What do you think about this series coming up?
I think to a degree I agree with what you just said, and that's that this is a big test for Texas A&M in that it will shed a lot of light on the direction they're going to go. It is a home series, albeit against a team that's ranked ahead of them by a reasonable margin. And, we're going to see if Texas A&M can do it. Last year at this point, Texas A&M had already fallen out of the poll. Number 1 team in the country. They were 11-9 heading into this week. Then they got swept by Vanderbilt, and that dropped them to 11-12 overall and 0-7 against top 25 teams. 0-6 in the conference. Last week, they go to Oklahoma. They win a game. I think that's significant. 1-2 for the lower-ranked team is technically the expected result in a setting like that. So they've checked that box. And now when you're at home, let's see them win a series. And if they're able to do that, they'll have a substantially better overall record. They'll look much better in conference play already, even through 2 weeks. And their record against good teams, that top 25 record, will be much prettier if they can win 2 or, in a great situation, 3 games. And even if they go 1-2 against the higher-ranked team, I still don't think that's a cause for concern. They'll have 2 top 25 wins this year already. They'll have a much cleaner record, like I said, and they'll have looked a lot more competitive. So I actually do and have been a believer in this Texas A&M group. I think that they're talented enough to do it. And I actually think that this year, unlike last year, a lot of that talent is translating to success on the field, and we've seen it in the win-loss record. So I do think that's a really good team, and this is another opportunity to prove that.
Another great week of SEC baseball awaits us. We can't wait to talk with you about it again next week, Jacob. We appreciate you, man.
Great talking to you guys as always. Talk to you next week.
Jacob Rudner, Baseball America. He joined us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Earlier, if you still have it pulled up, you want to go through it real quick. You mentioned some things in the Ole Miss lineup, but you didn't give the full lineup. Do we have time to do that, or do you want to just do that when we come back?
We are up against that.
All right, we'll do that when we come back. We'll give you the Ole Miss lineup. They're starting tonight against the Kentucky Wildcats. Hunter Elliott, obviously, on the mound for the Rebels. We'll tell you, as Michael talked with Brad Henderson earlier in the show about that. And if you ever miss any interviews we have here on Sports Talk Mississippi, they're real easy to catch anywhere you get podcasts, including back on Spotify. Just need to resubscribe if you have not already, and you can listen to Sports Talk Mississippi every day. Also available on YouTube if you want to catch us there as well. And all of our podcasts are 100% commercial free, so it's a condensed listening experience. You can enjoy that. We'll be back in just a minute. Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the sea,
Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Do you ever get so excited that you just can't wait?
Yes! Sports Talk Mississippi, covering your Mississippi teams.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Don't touch that dial.
Here on Super Talk Mississippi.
You going to go there?
No, I just like it.
We're playing chicken again.
I like it.
All right.
Nothing exciting happening at the moment in the NCAA tournament after a really awesome start.
We're getting that lull, where it's like the evening games are going to start soon, and the afternoon games are wrapping up. There's only 2 games left going on right now.
What's the point of that window? Who wants that?
Everybody can get a little dinner. Here on the West and the East Coast.
You could do that while watching the game. Start them every 10 minutes all day. We don't need windows. We need games all day. That's what we want.
I think some of it might have to do with like local news and things like that. So you gotta let your local news have its time. I mean, I'm just saying. There's still people watch the news.
Well, every commercial break cut in, and hey, here's the latest story, and then go right back to the game, and then next, there's ways around that.
Yeah.
Ole Miss's lineup tonight against Kentucky is no real surprises, but interesting. Federico's going to lead off again. Becerra and right, obviously. Utermark batting third. Reuter DHing tonight, batting fourth. Wondered if maybe he might catch and Foley will still continue to not play, but I guess his value behind the plate is enough. But he hadn't been particularly great behind the plate either. This is an important series for him in a lot of ways. But anyway, Furness at first, Sermons in left, Decker will play second. Interesting spot for him batting seventh. Hey, his stats are funny. So he's only hitting .256. And for reference, Tristan Becerra is hitting .412. So Dom Decker, excuse me, I said .256, .257. So Decker is hitting .257, Becerra is hitting .412. They get on base at the same rate. They have the same on-base percentage. They get on base the same amount. So even though he's not hitting for a super high average...
Do I care if it's a hit or walk?
He's getting on base. So I wonder if putting him down in the lineup like that's going to kind of break up the... is monotony the right word? Just the bottom of the lineup being just so bad. At least this will create somebody that gets on base at a high volume that will kind of help these guys out a little bit. Foley and Randall, of course, batting 8th and 9th, and then Elliott on the mound. We'll see. I don't know how much more of a leash that you give. I feel like I'm picking on Foley. It's not just him at the bottom of the lineup that struggled, but I don't know how much of a leash you give him. He's got 9 hits this season.
That's tough.
9. And we're through non-conference play. You're supposed to light up the non-conference games, and then your average comes down as SEC play comes. But it just hasn't been the case. And he does have a handful of errors as well in the field. So I wonder if this is kind of like your last shot here, man. You got to play clean at least.
Yeah.
You got to start being productive at the plate. If not, Reuter's going to go ahead and catch, and they'll find somebody else to DH and go from there.
This is the week for a lot of players where it's going to be like, look, we've got to settle into lineups. This isn't just an Ole Miss thing. This is everywhere. That we've got to figure out who our best starting 9 is and just go with that. And maybe there's a platoon here and there, but especially if you're talking about behind the plate, you want to have a guy back there that you can rely on every game of an SEC weekend. So yeah, for Foley, that needs to be this weekend. He needs to pick it up.
There is 2 Thursday series, by the way. Oklahoma LSU is also tonight, for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. The rest of them this weekend, Missouri is at Tennessee. Texas is at Auburn. Florida is at Alabama. Arkansas is at South Carolina. Georgia's at Texas A&M. And, of course, Vanderbilt is at Mississippi State.
Some good matchups. I talked about that with Jacob. That number 2 Texas, number 4 Auburn. Auburn is a team that a lot of people had some questions about. They jumped up big in the polls because they swept last weekend, but they swept Missouri. So what are we talking about here? So this is a really good litmus test for the Auburn Tigers. For the Vandy State series, very interesting. Vandy will look to prove that they're, better than what their record says they are. Mississippi State looking to bounce back after their tough weekend last at Arkansas. Same with Kentucky and Ole Miss, kind of the similar storylines there. LSU needs to win this series. They're at home. They're playing a pretty good Oklahoma team. They've got to find a way to win this series because I hear what Jacob's saying when he's talking about LSU, and he's right. If they win 13 conference games, they'll probably get in. But right now, they don't look like a team that's going to win 13 conference games. They look like a team that's going to win 10 or 11. And he's right that the talent level at LSU is not the problem. Something is not right with that team, and I don't know quite what it is. Vandy, if they win this weekend, maybe they can start turning things around. But, as it sits right now, they're sub-200 in RPI. State will host an SEC series this weekend, and those will be quad 4 games. I never thought I could say that in my life. That doesn't make any sense to say it out loud, that Mississippi State will host an SEC opponent this weekend that's not Missouri, and those will be quad 4 games. Like, just to put this, let me go to RPI and just give you some names here, right? So, as I said, Vanderbilt is currently 205 in the RPI. If State this weekend were hosting any of the following schools, they would be hosting a higher RPI, and I'll give you 10. Ball State, ULM, Youngstown State, Jacksonville, Wofford, Merrimack, Little Rock, Sacred Heart, Incarnate Word, UMass Lowell, Bethune-Cookman, and Seton Hall. State could host all of those teams, any one of those teams, for a 3-game set this weekend, and the RPI hit would not be as bad as what it's going to be hosting Vanderbilt.
And that will change, of course, with the schedule, but still.
Well, you say that. If they don't win games, it won't change much. They might jump up to like the hundreds, but they got to win games. I'm very fascinated to see if we look back in a few weeks, and what we talked about before is the case, that Vandy took that series from LSU because somebody had to win. Somebody had to win that series. Mm-hmm. 2 bad teams playing each other. I don't know the answer.
Somebody in the text line says, Foley will be the last one to sit for his performance at the plate. He's literally the best in the country at stealing strikes per Chase Parham. Well, I have no doubt that in Chase's information, but when you're bad at everything else, what value is that?
Here's the text before that on the C Spire text line. Foley has to be replaced, and I hope he proves me wrong. So we got conflicting opinions out there.
But if he's stealing a bunch of strikes, that's great.
That's great, but
he's got 6 errors,
and
he's hitting 167.
You can't have that.
He's got 9 hits this season. 9. So
he had a good year at the plate last year, didn't he? Wasn't he pretty good?
It fell off pretty bad late.
Okay. I remember early in the season.
Early was on fire. Hit a lot of home runs, too. And again, you don't have to hit 375, but when you've got 6 errors in the field, you haven't really been all that great at catching guys stealing either, and you're hitting 167, how valuable is the stealing strikes component compared to all of that? I don't know. Maybe there's no better option. I don't know, but I do know that they expected more out of him, and he's got to play better. And it's not just him. Again, I feel like I'm just picking on him. It's not just him. You got to get more out of a lot of this lineup right now. Sermons is not an everyday guy, but he's hitting 226. Pasella, who you signed, you thought was going to be great, is hitting 172, not even in the lineup today. Yeah. Randall's hitting 217. Federico's been better lately, but he's hitting 227. Furness's average has now dipped below 300. He's been pretty cold lately. So I'm not just picking on the one guy, but it is the one guy with the worst of the numbers of them all. And it's pretty glaring. That's all. It's certainly not just his fault for why they can't manufacture runs. Mm. So there you go. 601-879-4395. So glad that you guys are with us. I hate this little window in the tournament, though. Michigan State winning by almost 30.
Yeah, because it costs us an hour. Like, we could have the next hour to continue talking about games. And Dwight is right on there. They do have to, these are sessions, right?
Yeah, but they're scattered all over the country. You can schedule it out.
I guess. I don't know.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can.
I'm just saying.
I think you're right. It's probably a news thing.
I think it probably has something to do with it. Yeah, that every market has news that they've sold ads for,
and also
they got to get that out.
You know, people need to be informed, I guess, and
yeah,
the CBS Evening News needs to come on, and People need to hear about whatever's going on in their town.
Whatever happened there, it's fine.
I think I would be a lot. I would be a much better citizen locally if I consumed local news, but I don't. I'm a SuperTalk man. I'm a company man. So whatever.
Well, we have local news.
We do.
It's at supertalk.fm.
But what I mean is, like, they send a newspaper to my mailbox every so often. I don't read it.
Also, like, when the evening news is on, you're here.
I am here during the evening
news.
You're
here during the evening news.
But I also could do, like, the 11 o'clock news.
You're in bed. You got a long day. You're asleep. I mean, I am.
I am the news.
Yeah.
Remember when we got...
I am the news.
When we got written permission to be on the roads during the COVID shutdown?
Yes, that was unbelievable that we were considered essential personnel, right?
My dad is furious with me that I did not save that. I don't know where it is. I wanted to save it, but I didn't save that and frame it.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore.
I don't have it.
I kept it in my car like I was told to do, but I no longer have that. All right, we'll keep up with what's going on in the NCAA tournament and get ready to set you up for the college football fix very, very shortly. Back in just a minute. Sports Talk Mississippi.
In the Venable Glass.
I listen to it at work.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Did you get that memo?
Yes, sir.
Arkansas cruising along in the first round of the NCAA tournament, 66-49. The Hogs lead over the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Only other game going on at this time, Michigan State also easily winning over North Dakota State, 61-36. 14 minutes left in the second half of that one. So Michigan State, should they win, and they are on course to do so, they will take on Louisville in the round of 32, and Arkansas. A win for the Hogs puts them where? They will take on High Point, the 12 seed who won earlier today. So,
my stomach hurts from laughing during the commercial break. Stumbled upon a video of a British food truck that does baked potatoes. Okay?
Yeah, sure. We're off to a good start.
They did a basket of unseasoned French fries. Put the baked potato on top of it.
It's a potato on potato.
Yeah, and so it's
sure this was an Irish truck.
Clearly, both of these people work there, and they're doing like, hey, here's how you can order food at our establishment. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Do you want salt and pepper?" He's like, "Yeah, salt and pepper." And she's just like, "Little salt, little pepper,
little salt, little pepper." Okay.
And then butter, yeah, just a little butter. And then it gets to a point where he asks her for beans, and she just smothers it in baked beans. So it's just unseasoned baked potato with unmelted cheese and baked beans on top of it, okay? The comments.
It's like a top 3 dish in Britain right there.
The comments are killing me. Hi, what days are you closed?
Yeah.
This is why July 4th, 1776 happened.
Yeah.
I've never been more proud to be an American.
Beans on top of potatoes.
Thank you, George Washington, for saving me from this.
Yeah.
I've seen better food in the county jail. Ah, perfect. Just how I like it. Absolutely terrible. No way British people are real. Eating like the Germans are still flying overhead.
Unseasoned French fries, unseasoned baked potato, unmelted cheese.
Yeah.
2 scoops of pork and beans.
They both have guns pointed at them. That's the only explanation.
Yeah.
By God, we dodged a bullet, American flag. Colonize the world for spices, doesn't use any.
That's one of my favorite memes is the British colonize the world for spices and then don't use any.
Why does everything they say sound like toddlers pretending to make food? And there's a lot of them that I can't read a whole lot, but I was just dying during the break reading all that. My favorite, the top one. Hi, what days are you closed?
Yeah, that's critical information there. Like, let's do a food truck where we put beans on top of potatoes.
What's your website? I would love to leave a terrible review.
Yeah, I want to go to Yelp. Like, I've never been there, but the video caused me stress. I would never eat at your restaurant, but I wish you would stop making videos because they're triggering me.
Ah, man. 601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. Just the worst.
Yeah.
Somebody says all news now is politics. Yeah,
at least they didn't cover it in mushy peas.
I don't understand that either.
Mushy peas? Yeah,
they put that on all. People are going to the ball game to eat
but
mushed up peas with really nothing in them besides that.
Yeah, a little salt maybe if you're lucky.
And you would think like, oh, that's great for the 1-year-olds that No. You go to a ball game in London or Manchester.
I would make a bet with you about having to eat some British food, eat some jellied eels or something, but I'm afraid I would lose, and so I couldn't. And then I don't want to do that. So
jellied eels.
Yes. No, actually, it's a no. Now that I think about it, no.
Like, what do you put it on?
Dude, it's like sardines. You just pop them out of the can and eat them.
Like on a cracker or something?
I guess. If you're lucky. You're lucky you have a cracker.
I agree with the comments. I'm very thankful for George Washington today.
Yeah. They do have fish and chips. Do you book cancellations? That's one of the comments. That's funny. Fish and chips are good, but I mean, would you rather have fried cod and English-style chips, or would I rather have fried catfish and American-style French fries?
Yes, significantly better.
Pretty easy choice, if you ask me.
An easy choice, too, will be the college football fix. Pete Golding has added to his staff, and I think a trend is happening on that staff. We'll talk about that. Also, an SEC team has named a starting quarterback. No surprises, but they did it, so we will talk about that as well. Sports Talk Mississippi from the Pearl River Resort Studio. After the news, it's your college football fix.
Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Sports Talk Mississippi. Yeah! On Super Talk Mississippi.
Borkey and Hadad with you, Sports Talk Mississippi, Hour 3 already on this Thursday. So glad that you guys are with us.
I wonder,
what do you
if
wonder?
Any sports show in the country has two weirder last names hosting the show. Like, go back to this, like, all right, back to the Sports Blaze here on KFOO 98.3 on the FM dial. Chickamauga and Garzongo here with you on a Thursday afternoon. Like, who's got it weirder than Borkey and Hadad? I want to know.
There isn't one.
There may not be. We may be alone.
And we may be alone in having Mississippi Ford dealers bring you the College Football Fix.
The College Football Fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford tough. That's what the best-selling truck in America is. The Ford F-150. Don't even think about it. You are in the mood right now for a new truck. There's only one place to go. Your Mississippi Ford dealers. So you can drive the best-selling truck in America. The Ford F-150. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So, Staff members keep being added left and right at every program, but especially at Ole Miss. We got news a little bit earlier today that Pete Golding has added another member, a very familiar name, to his coaching staff. Kind of out of the blue, I did not know that this was happening until Ole Miss formally announced that Terrence Metcalf, yes, that Terrence Metcalf, is going to join the coaching staff as assistant offensive line coach and personnel assistant. So his title will be assistant offensive line coach, offensive line assistant, personnel assistant. So 3 titles.
Assistant to the offensive line.
Assistant to the offensive line. So 3 titles for Terrence Metcalf, but obviously has a lot of ties and connections to Ole Miss. He was a head coach at the junior college level, been coaching for a while now since his career came to an end. No, he is not replacing anybody. John Garrison is still the offensive line coach, but Terrence Metcalf going to be an analyst. And I think there's a trend happening with how Pete Golding built his staff. This is not every staff member. He's got guys with no ties to Ole Miss or anything like that, no ties to Mississippi, all over, up and down this coaching staff. However, I do think of all the great things that Lane Kiffin did at Ole Miss, and he did a lot of great things at Ole Miss. The ending was a disaster because he's a disaster artist. It's what he is. He might win a national championship at LSU, but the end is going to be ugly. That's what he does. It's just him. But he did a lot of great things at Ole Miss. One of the things, and we talked about this over the years, this isn't a new criticism. Go back and check the tape. We've talked about this before. One of the things that he did not do well was recruit and build relationships with future recruits within the state of Mississippi. If you asked a high school coach, a prominent high school coach in Mississippi, how many conversations have you had with Lane Kiffin? Most, if not all of them, will answer none.
Very few.
Very few. And the conversations, when they did happen, were not, there's no depth to them. He made no effort to build relationships and heavily recruit the state of Mississippi. I think for a couple of reasons. One, I think he took the job with the intention of quickly flipping a roster, winning some games, and getting out. So what's the point of building long-term relationships if you don't plan on being at a place long-term? Also, I don't think he's very good at that. And just use the transfer portal to supplement. Since Pete Golding's arrived at Ole Miss, recruiting in the state of Mississippi has changed. They have been much better at recruiting Mississippi, specifically on defense, of course, in his role as defensive coordinator. They've been a lot better at it. I think with this new staff, because it's not just Metcalf, right? I mean, his head coach of defense has Ole Miss ties. In the recruiting office, you have Dante Moncrief in there. They just hired Marcus Woodson, for example. There's guys on this staff now that they've added, analysts and otherwise, that are from Mississippi. Their tight ends coach has ties to Mississippi, even though he's not an Ole Miss guy, but they hired him from Miami, but he's got ties to this state. I think you're seeing, with what Pete Golding has done to his staff and also analyst staff and recruiting staff, is they are going to not allow lacking relationships and effort in the state of Mississippi to be why they miss players from this state. Neither Ole Miss nor Mississippi State in this era have done a good enough job of locking down the state of Mississippi in totality, and I think Pete Golding is going to effort to change that.
Does this make sense then from this line of thinking? You want to be able to bring in guys who can recruit your state for high school because the portal stuff is so dependent on money. It doesn't really matter what the relationships are there. Like most of those guys are just committing where they get the biggest.
There's a reason Lane Kiffin cleans up in the portal, because you don't have to build relationships with portal players.
But for high school, you do. And
even in this era, you still do.
You still need that base of high school guys that you've brought in and kept, and Mississippi guys who are less likely to leave. And yeah, that's just smart in my opinion.
Somebody says, what's the point of building relationships when another school can just buy your players out from under you? Because they don't.
Again,
did your entire I think this is a Mississippi State fan here. Did your entire roster turn over this offseason?
It did not.
Did Kelly Jones leave? Did Isaac Smith leave?
No. Neither one of those guys left. I mean, think about your Mississippi guys at Mississippi State, right? Kelly Jones, still here. Isaac Smith is still here. Trevion Williams, Calvin Dinkins. I don't know how much. I'm sure they could have gotten something in the portal. Camario Taylor, obviously. still here. Ole Miss, fewer Mississippi guys, for sure.
Because but the ones that they got.
But the ones they kept, Perkins, Franklin, Eccles, those guys would have commanded a pretty penny on the transfer portal market.
And guys that could have hit the portal and gone elsewhere and gotten a lot of money, like Jam Brown could have been a starter somewhere. He stayed. You got Maddox, Cam Beavers, they stayed.
And that's the other thing. You need a relationship. Even a guy like Caleb Cunningham, who has not played and would have been completely within his rights to say, I got to get out of here. Didn't. And I agree with this from the C-Spire text. You need relationships with the high school coaches because there are going to be elite players that come through the systems, and you got to have some. You can't just show up when the 5-star guy is on the roster. You have to have been there before.
Absolutely,
and that's just smart thinking, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, you brought up Caleb Cunningham. I said it before on the show. I don't know this for a fact. I'd be willing to bet if Caleb Cunningham was a 5-star from the Tampa, Florida area, he'd already be gone.
He would 100% be gone.
So, and especially this state does produce players. There's a reason LSU, Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn have all come in here and taken players from you. I know, everybody wants to be cynical and none of the players stay. That's not true, as evidenced by what we just laid out. Players do stay. Good players stay. Even on not good teams, good players still stay, especially the ones that are from here. But also, if you guys have paid attention to the news lately, rules are coming eventually. Sooner maybe rather than later. And the free-for-all will end. I'd be willing to bet that the free-for-all ends within 24 months.
Oh, I don't know.
Because they're having the breakaway conversation. That's why I think that.
Okay.
They're having the breakaway conversation. But even still, if it's not 24 months, it's 48 months, 4 years from now. That day will come, though. And don't you want to have your foundation built when that day does come? And even if that day never does, as Hadad laid out, what would Ole Miss defensively be without Mississippi guys? They'd have been in a world of hurt in the transfer portal if not for the foundation that they have on the defensive line built by guys from Mississippi. So I think you're seeing an intentional shift in philosophy from Pete Golding. They're still going to use the portal. They did. They use the portal a lot. But if you've got 4-star dudes in your backyard that are going to Auburn, LSU, Alabama, wherever, they're not going to your school, that's a problem. And so I think you're seeing an intentional change in that approach because of all the good things Lane Kiffin did. He did not care at all about building relationships within this state. Didn't care at all. And I think it ultimately backfired. Because as you've said before, Hadad, Ole Miss should have cleaned up in this state during their run.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't.
Right.
Why not? Because the coach didn't care to.
Right. So
there you go.
Just, and the other side of this is from a fan perspective. If you're an Ole Miss fan today, you're like, oh, Terrence Metcalf is back? That's awesome. I love Terrence Metcalf. Mm-hmm. It's just an easy win. And especially because you're not hiring him to be your offensive line coach either. He's just around. And, it doesn't hurt to have a guy that when, a recruit comes in and, oh, hey, you like to meet Terrence Metcalf? He was an All-American here and played a long time in the NFL. And, his son is DK Metcalf, who's, I'm sure you know. I mean, it's just smart to have those connections. Having former players around, to me, especially, again, like you said, you're not telling these guys, hey, you're the on-the-field assistant, right? But you give those guys a good job and put some money in their pocket and tell them to come in there and be ambassadors for your program, you can't lose with that kind of thinking, in my opinion.
It's our college football fix, driven by Ford and your local Mississippi Ford dealer. We'll be back in just a bit.
From the Venable Glass.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Talk Mississippi. Brian Hadad, Michael Borkey here with you on Thursday afternoon. 40 minutes from first pitch in Oxford? Is that right? 6 o'clock first pitch for the Rebels?
7 o'clock, yep.
7 o'clock first.
7 o'clock. On the
late
college
night baseball.
Yeah.
All right.
On this college football note, hey, Dad, I kind of want your reaction to this. It says, I coached Caleb and Coach Ben Shoemaker, and Ole Miss has done a great job coming to talk to us and build relationships with us. Lane just showed his face. Pete tells it like it is. But what's surprising to me is we haven't seen State here in their backyard. Just crazy I haven't seen Arnett reach out more.
I don't know. I mean, I got no answer on that one. You know, I don't know what Arnett's recruiting responsibilities are or anything like that. So yeah, I don't really have any information to add on that one.
Well, what kind of so in Levy's staff and extended staff is there? What kind of flavor is that? I know there was some controversy with Bumpus being let go on staff, but what does that make up like there in Starkville?
How do you mean exactly?
Like with guys with State ties or with Mississippi ties? What's that?
Oh, yeah. It's not a lot. I mean, on the offensive side of the ball, there's not a lot of Mississippi ties, if you're being totally honest. I mean, Johns hasn't coached in Mississippi before, to my knowledge. Tucker, has been here a few years, so that there's that. Lodehold is not a Mississippi guy, although he was at Ole Miss as an analyst with Levy. Wide receivers is Montgomery, no Mississippi experience. Cooper has been here a couple of years with Levy. Levy obviously has his time at Ole Miss to fall back on. Defensive side of the ball, Brock and Arnett have plenty of experience from being here with Leach, and then when Arnett was the head coach. Corey Bell's been here since the beginning with Levy. Ty Warren is his first year, the new defensive line coach here in the state. So yeah, not the same level of connections on the coaching staff. Now in the recruiting staff, Rod Gibson has been here forever and has done a great job. You've got guys like Greg Knox still on campus working with the student athletes, away from the coaching perspective. I think David Turner is still doing that as well. But
not that that's the end all be all. It's effort. It's not necessarily ties. It's more about effort. But the ties don't hurt.
Yeah, they don't hurt at all. So, well,
and you don't just want to sign guys just because they're from a certain place. But man, this state really does produce great players.
It absolutely does, for sure. Nowadays with recruiting, like I said earlier, I don't mind the idea of having a lot of Mississippi guys. I'd like to see some more former players, get involved. State's got some. We talked about Bumpus. Jamar Chaney is at Baylor right now. Pernell McPhee is at Michigan right this second. One of State's former quarterbacks is a coach somewhere. What's that guy's name? Judge? Where is he? I don't know where he is. But yeah, I mean, State's
former Mississippi State head coach Joe Judge?
For like 5 minutes he was.
Maybe a little bit longer than 5 minutes.
I mean, yeah, it may have literally gone to bed the head coach and woke up the next day not. I always feel like when you hire former players, it just does a lot to make the fan base happy, right? They know those names. They've been cheering for those guys their whole life. They're used to it. So Levy's staff doesn't have a lot of that flavor right now, but you never know. You never know.
And again, that's not the end all be all, but
right.
A lot of options out there. That's interesting that there is. If a coach wanted to go that route, there's some possible connections there. But
for sure.
Austin Simmons won the job at Missouri after like 7 spring practices. Not that they didn't pay him $3+ million to come in and be a backup, but he did, in fact, win the job at Missouri. They announced that a little bit earlier today. Fascinating player. He's got all of the tools, as we've talked about. Every tool in the book. Mentally, he's very smart. His team likes him. He handled adversity really well this season. Rocket arm, good athlete. Drinkwitz has got to figure out how to get him to stop turning the football over.
Yeah.
Because that's a calling card. And again, far be it for me, I got to give Lane Kiffin a bunch of credit today. Hey, Dad. Lane Kiffin's quarterbacks don't turn the football over. They haven't. Matt Corral had those 2 horrendous games, but look at his next season. I mean, Kiffin quarterbacks protect the ball. Chambliss protected the ball. Jackson Dart protected the ball.
Yeah.
And so to be under that umbrella, under those wings for years before you got your first start, and your issue being turnovers is an issue. Because, I mean, Drinkwitz is good. He's not Kiffin Weiss good. So they've got to figure out how to unlock all that ability while also getting him to protect the football. Because even in, like, the Citadel game, turned it over. I know that one really wasn't really his fault, but still, turned it over. And in the Tulane game, Trinidad came out for a little bit in the playoff. Mm-hmm. Simmons comes in, turns it over. Yeah.
It was a real issue for Ole Miss, and I remember after that Kentucky game, I was when we weren't sure what was going to happen. Was Trinidad going to start the next week and things like that? We were talking a lot about that. And like, look, this Ole Miss team cannot be successful like this in games if he's going to keep turning the ball over like this. He had to fix it. Now he's off to Missouri. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. They'll play Mississippi State on, I guess, week 4. And I was just thinking, I always expected Simmons to play a game at Davis Wade Stadium, but I thought it would be the Friday after Thanksgiving last year.
Yeah.
It was not. This will be his debut at Davis Wade Stadium. The talent, the ceiling is so high. You see it, right? The way he can throw the football, the size, the ability that he has. But it's all for naught. What's the pitching coach thing? Nobody cares how fast you throw ball 4. It's the same thing here. Like, nobody cares how beautiful a spiral you throw on an interception. Like, the passes look great coming out of his hand, but they got to find the right receivers. So, that being said, if he can tap into that and he can find a way to limit those turnovers, you've got a elite tier quarterback available to you at Missouri, and you can win a lot of football games.
Interesting schedule for Missouri. The first month of the season is a couple of testers. So they open with Pine Bluff, whatever. Week 2, they go to Kansas. Big rivalry game on the road.
Border war.
New stadium, sort of, for Kansas. They tore down one half, built it up. They tear down the other half. They're building it up.
Yeah.
Troy in week 3, and then they go to Mississippi State. That is a weird start to the schedule. 2 fascinating, difficult, sketchy, whatever adjective you want to use, road games in there.
Yeah. Missouri is
and then they host Florida in week 5. I mean, that is
Missouri these past couple of years has been this program where, like, we're just not sure about them coming into the season every year. Like, you're afraid to put all your chips into the table on a Missouri take, one way or the other. Like, if you're somebody who thinks they're going to be a playoff team, okay. If you're somebody who thinks they're going to fall back and be 6-6, nobody's willing to commit to a take on the Missouri Tigers. Like I said, they've got an interesting, triplets, right? Mm-hmm. You know what you've got with Hardy. That guy's great. Caden Lee is an outstanding receiver. It's just going to be about what Simmons gives them. And, Drinkwitz is a good offensive coach. I think he'll put him in some good positions there, but if he turns the ball over, it's going to be a quick hook for him.
This schedule, man. So, again, at Kansas, at Mississippi State in the month of December, they host Florida, host A&M, go to Ole Miss and Arkansas in consecutive weeks before they host Texas, go to Georgia, host Kentucky, and then host Oklahoma. It's
a tough schedule. I mean, again, you play in the SEC. It's a tough schedule. That's how life goes.
Yeah.
But
shout out Greg Sankey for the 9 conference games. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it just is what it is now. And they are going to have to find their way through. And if they can, they have a chance to be a playoff team. And if they don't, then they'll be wherever they are.
601-879-4395. Somebody says Simmons is why I pumped the brakes on Kamario Taylor.
Just totally different guys, though. Taylor, a much, much more accomplished runner than Austin Simmons. Simmons is probably a little bit better thrower of the football, although Kamario has a ton of arm talent. But I feel like Taylor can make a lot more happen with his feet than Simmons can. Simmons, has got mobility, but he's not a runner by any stretch of the imagination. He's not a guy that you would expect to carry the ball 10 to 15 times a game for you. You're not looking to get 100 yards rushing out of Austin Simmons. You are out of Kamario Taylor.
(601-879-4395). The C Spire text line will be back in just a bit.
From the Sea.
Hey guys, what happened? What the heck are you doing?
Sports Talk Mississippi on your radio and in the game. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Record here, Michael Borkey.
A personal record.
Yeah. 8 games have been played in the NCAA tournament. I am 8 for 8. I don't know that I've ever gotten through the first day, first window here unscathed, but that's where I am right now.
I got to see how Mascot Fight's doing.
Yeah.
Because I think Mascot Fight did have high point over Wisconsin.
By the way, I just want to point out, you had Duke going pretty far in this, right?
Winning the national championship.
So I just want to point out to you that you picked the Devil over the Saint.
Well, it's a Mascot Fight.
A Saint?
But what Saint from who?
Any Saint.
But what school has a Saint mascot?
Siena.
Aren't they the Bulldogs?
No, they're the Saints. You botched it. You totally botched your whole concept.
Oh, they are the Saints. But is it, I mean, the Saints are human, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but, you know, they're
right.
They got some divine power going there.
The Saints are human. So I'm not
I don't know.
I'm okay with my selection.
Okay. All right, well, then let's just go through it.
So Mascot Fight, by the way, is in the 78th percentile. My real bracket that I actually thought about is in the 33rd percentile. So
my guess is on your bracket, your Mascot Fight, you lost South Florida, Louisville, because you had a bull would beat a cardinal.
That's right.
All right. You would have lost Arkansas, Hawaii. Rainbow
did
Warrior.
Lose Arkansas, Hawaii.
I mean, there would have been a luau for that. Did you take Michigan State or North Dakota State? Spartan or Bison?
Spartan.
Okay, so you did get
the Spartans are among the greatest warriors of all time.
So those are the two that you've lost then.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Hawaii's beating Arizona as well, because I do think a Hawaiian warrior would beat a Wildcat, which is like a bobcat.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah, so I'm in trouble there. Worse though is the real bracket doing worse.
So somebody said, not sure that Hadad knows that, but State has several assistants to the assistants from. I do know that. But you asked me about the assistant coaching staff, right? Like you were talking about the guys on the field. None of those guys are Mississippi guys, by and large. But yes, Desmond Lindsay, Jet Johnson, those are guys that are from Mississippi.
Yeah. Somebody says throw it out. No, I think Devil. I think that was the right decision. I don't like that. It's uncomfortable.
You're telling me that
was the right decision.
Could defeat St. Peter.
It's a Blue Devil, though.
What does that matter?
I don't know. What is
like a water class from Pokemon? What does that mean?
What if he's like a good one, a converted one? We don't know.
A good devil.
I mean,
I would like to point out that he represents Duke at this point.
Yeah, that ends that.
Yeah,
he's among the worst devils. Blue is like a
I think
seventh layer type.
You may have botched this one.
No, you're only saying that now because Mascot Fight might be your I tried bracket. That's why.
Again, I'd like to point out that I am perfect through the first window, and
he's rubbing off on you.
You are not. Yeah, you didn't know the mascot. You thought Siena was the Bulldogs.
I still think that it is the right decision.
Their actual mascot is a dog.
Yeah, and their logo is the dog.
It's a St. Bernard.
So that's the kind of saint they are.
Well, hold on then. What was St. Bernard?
It's a dog.
So St. Bernard, that's St. Bernadette. Hold on one second.
I'm not backing down from this. I'm right on this one. I'm correct. I made the right call.
Bernard of Clairvaux. Okay. He was the co-founder of the Knights Templar. Guy was an elite warrior and a saint. He would have beaten a devil.
I mean, knights are outstanding soldiers with armor.
An abbot mystic, co-founder of the Knights Templar, and a major leader in reform of the Benedictines through the nascent Cistercian order.
It doesn't have mythical powers, though. Doesn't have mythical powers.
Well, here's the thing. To be a saint in the Catholic Church, you have to have been given credit for 2 miracles.
What were his 2 miracles?
I'm trying to find them.
Because water into wine is a miracle.
Right.
Doesn't help you win a battle. Helps you throw a party.
Let's see here. He restored speech to a dying relative.
Beautiful thing.
Cured a blind girl and a paralyzed woman in Cologne, Germany in 1147.
Beautiful things. Does not help you beat a devil in a fight.
If you can cure paralysis, you can probably give it, too. He would paralyze the devil and then behead him.
But can the Blue Devil be paralyzed?
I don't know.
Is he even capable of feeling pain?
Okay, we're going deep here. You ready?
Yeah.
What you're asking right this second is, can a man who is imbued with the power of God defeat the devil? The answer to that question is always yes. You botched it. This is a botch.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, no. No more yeah, but.
We don't know what this...
It doesn't matter. I've won.
Mm-mm.
You blew it.
It's already locked in. It's too late.
I know. It's too late, yeah. Unless you're a hedge knight. What? No. Don't do that. I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
It's too late, though.
Yeah, it's too late. I just need you to say, I screwed up. Just say it.
I don't agree. I'm not ready yet.
You're not ready to admit.
I'm not ready yet.
That you screwed up here. I think you did.
I thought there were dogs.
Yeah.
I thought there were dogs. That's what I thought.
We could go with the actual mascot, which is a dog.
I know, but then it gets all jacked up.
Yeah,
at that point,
it does get messed up at that point. Because then you have Alabama, and then you have to go with the elephant instead of the tidal wave, which got them pretty deep into the tournament, as I recall.
Yes, so. Alabama did go far.
Is a blue devil even a devil? I mean, it's got devil in the name.
But look at the screenshot, though.
Okay, what is the
Inspired by French World War I soldiers.
Oh, that's even worse.
But that's the inspiration. That's not what it is.
Yeah, it's an actual devil.
But if it was, then...
It's inspired by French soldiers.
I mean, the Wildcat would have beaten them.
Yeah. In that case, LSU would go deep.
The Bulldogs would have...
Yeah. So, yes, Michael Borkey came up with an incredible idea and then ruined it. Why?
I thought it was a dog.
He's a heretic, apparently.
I thought it was a dog.
He's a heretic, a blasphemer.
Thought it was a dog.
I'll have Father Jason here at St. Joe's give you a call, and he can talk you through,
and I'm going to need it.
The liturgy of the saints. And, see, this is where you got to rely. 13 years of Catholic school over here. I know my stuff.
In 3 minutes, VCU in North Carolina will get started. Howard and Michigan coming up at 6:30. A&M St. Mary's at 6:35. Texas BYU also at 6:35. Penn, Illinois tonight. St. Louis, Georgia tonight. Kennesaw State, Gonzaga. Idaho, Houston, all coming up later tonight. That is your nightcap. If there is an upset, a big upset, not an 8-9 upset, but if there is one, who's it going to be?
That's a tough one. Let me pull up my bracket here. Do I have any more upsets coming for today?
Texas game? BYU doesn't really count. Texas is a very wealthy program, but I think that there's a chance Texas is winning tonight.
BYU has the potential number one draft pick in the NBA draft playing for them. That would be one. From
a brand perspective, VCU beating North Carolina would be something.
Would be huge. That's tomorrow, so that doesn't count. I have St. Louis beating Georgia. I I have A&M beating St. Mary's, but that's not a huge one. I don't really have a big upset on the preview here. I do have UCF beating. That's tomorrow though, so that's no good. Yeah, I don't know. I think we may have had our excitement for the day. We'll see. But I say that, and we'll probably get some major upset.
Idaho beating Houston would be hilarious.
That seems highly unlikely, though.
Kennesaw State beating Gonzaga at 30-3. Gonzaga would be hilarious.
That could be one, but
unlikely. Sports Talk Mississippi. We will wrap the show up with you next. Ole Miss Kentucky, about an hour and 10 minutes from getting started. That's on TV. It's a TV game tonight, real TV, not streaming. So enjoy that if you're not down with the basketball tournament. But again, we'll wrap the show up with you next.
Let's go to the junction, in the grove, and to the top. Don't hurt yourself. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
No, I don't. It sounds like Christmas music.
It is not Christmas music.
Like when it first started playing, I was like, "This is a Christmas song."
I like Christmas music.
I do too, but not on March 19th.
I've got some neighbors that still have their tree up in their window. It's March.
Not a fan.
Part of me wants to do a wellness check on them. Like, hey, you guys alive in there?
Have you seen these people? You seen them since Christmas?
No. But I say neighbors. Everybody in my neighborhood, to me, is a neighbor. Mm-hmm. So I don't mean like next door neighbor, but somebody that lives in the neighborhood.
Some tennis shoes?
Hey, neighbor.
Yeah, I was asking.
I'm sure I have at one point. Do not remember ever a second of watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Oh, come on now.
I can't. I cannot reference a second that I'm sure at some point maybe it was on.
Maybe one of the most universally beloved. You find somebody who's like, I don't like Mr. Rogers. You're talking about a person with real issues, really deep-seated psychosis. I would never want to meet a person who's like, I don't like Mr. Rogers.
Then you have Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is on that list.
There's a Owen Wilson. Is it movie or show about Bob Ross that's out now? Hulu keeps trying to tell me.
I think it's a show, but yeah.
Hulu keeps trying to get me to watch it, and I can't. Like, don't get me wrong. Wholesome guy. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to watch a biopic of a TV painter.
I mean, you would probably be better for it.
Probably. But I'll be watching basketball and baseball tonight. I got to 2-screen it. Watch the NCAA tournament. Watch Ole Miss Kentucky. What's on the Hadad house tonight?
Oh, we'll be watching basketball for sure.
You're not going to lock into Oxford?
No, but I'll keep an eye on it. Maybe that'd be on the laptop.
Yeah, especially if it gets close late. See all the dancing that Kentucky does in the dugout, slapping each other's butts and stuff, whatever they're doing in there.
You see that Texas A&M thing?
Was it TCU also? There was another one.
Oh. Hey, look, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hey, guys.
It's perfectly fine.
How about you take a step back?
Let's dial that down. You're about an 8. I need you at like a 4. So. You'd have a new view on life if you watched it. I can assure you.
I'd probably be happier.
You need to get. You just do it under the guise of, hey, James, this is a great show. It teaches you a lot of good lessons.
He's into Magic School Bus. Like the old one.
This is an easy transition. Yeah. You just put him on Mr. Rogers, then you can sit back and have some nostalgia, have some moments there.
I'm sure there's going to be no long-term effects, though, of one generation grew up on Mr. Rogers and the next one's growing up on Mr. Beast. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with that, and that won't have chronic societal issues when they become adults.
It's very possible. You ever seen the Mr. Rogers comic with Thor?
No.
You should look at it. It's not meant to be funny. It's a good life lesson. He talks
like
about
he made a comic book?
No. It's a comic somebody drew where he and Thor are talking. I'll just give you the gist of it. They're he goes up on the roof. He hears Thor up there, and he's like, "Thor, is that you?" And he's like, yes, Mr. Rogers, I was up here."
He was delivering presents.
He was doing something, and Mr. Rogers is like, "That's a very big hammer you have there. Is it very heavy?" And Thor's like, "Oh, there are some who say it's immovable." And then you hear him go, "Doesn't seem that heavy to me." And he's picked it up because Mr. Rogers would be worthy to. And he goes into a thing about how it's like, but it's like that sometimes in life. What's difficult to some may not be difficult to others. And he teaches Thor a life lesson. And Thor at the end of it is like, "I am humbled by your counsel." There we go.
That sounds pretty excellent, though.
It's really, it really does show the, what's the word I'm looking for here? Just the wholesome nature of that guy. Just genuinely, like I said, find me the person who doesn't like Mr. Rogers, and I'll find you you want to hit the dump button? Because that's the word.
Real bad guy?
A real bad guy.
We will be back tomorrow. 3 o'clock, as we always are. We got a lot of basketball to recap.
Right there. We'll be back.
See, I don't know.
When the day is new, and we'll have more sports talk for you, and you'll have text you'll want to send to us. I will, too. We'll see you tomorrow, neighbors. Sports Talk Mississippi, Brian Hadad and Michael Borkey.
Good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.